Chaos Rising is coming to Pokemon TCG Live on May 21st. And I am so pumped. This set is packed with some seriously awesome cards, which could shake up the meta. So today, we're going to check out some of the best cards that are coming, break them down, and figure out what's actually worth picking up, and maybe what decks we should be playing next season. Let's get into it. And guys, just before we get into the video, let me know in the comments below which card you are most excited for. So first off, we got Beedrill EX, who actually looks pretty solid. We've got one Grass Energy to do Rumblebee, and basically the more Beedrills or Beedrill EXs we have in play, the more damage we're going to do, which is pretty insane. So one Beedrill is 110, 220, 330, and 440. So that is some pretty insane damage, and hopefully it should be quite easy to set up. Grass Pokemon are incredibly strong, especially with cards like Forest Vitality, just being able to set this up quite easily, and the Bug Catcher set as well. So yeah, I feel like this is going to be a really strong card, definitely one to watch out for. Now we've got Chestnut. So this is obviously a single prize card, and we have this ability Needle Armor. If this Pokemon is in the active spot and is damaged by an attack from your opponent, places 3 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon for each Grass Energy attack to this Pokemon. That's pretty good. Plus we've got 2 Grass Energies and a Colorless. That's 160 damage, and during our opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon cannot retreat. So, you know, got 3 Grass Energy on us. That means we're going to be doing 90 damage back to them. This definitely looks like you can do some sweet plays with this. Chestnut, I'm digging it. I don't think it's going to be super broken, but I definitely think it will be sort of like above average. Delphox. So again, this is another stage 2 single prize card. It has this ability, Flame Magic. Once during your turn, you may discard a basic fire energy from your card, from your hand, in order to use this ability to draw until you have 7 cards in hand. That is incredibly useful. Obviously, again, just being able to have that cycle is pretty sick. And then you've got Energy Storm. Does 30 damage for each energy attached to all Pokemon in play. So this will work really nicely with Oricorio plus Mega Charizard. Yeah, I can definitely see this being viable, but I don't know. It feels like we're going to be getting a lot of lines that we need to sort of get this to work. So yeah, I'm a bit on the fence on this one if it's going to be good or not. Mega Prior EX. So we have Ferocious Bellow 80. Or sorry, does 80 damage. During your opponent's next turn, attacks used by the defending Pokemon do 50 less damage. That seems pretty trash to me. Got 340 HP as well. Nothing too crazy. It's a stage 1 evolution though. And then we've got Big Bang Fire, which is 290 damage. This attack does 10 less damage for each counter on this Pokemon. I mean, that is dreadful. I mean, we're probably going to have to use Monkey Dory to help with this. But yeah, Mega Prior is looking pretty trash to me. That's going straight in the bin. Okay, I think this is one that we've all been waiting for. And this is probably going to be people's chase cards in the real world as well. Mega Greninja EX. So we have this ability, Deadly Shuriken. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may discard a basic Water Energy card from your hand in order to use this ability. Places 6 damage counters onto one of your opponent's Pokemon. Okay, I like it. That sounds good. Then we've got Ninja Spinner, which does 120 damage plus you may return a Water Energy attached to this Pokemon to your hand. If you do this, it does 80 more damage. So yeah, there's definitely going to be something that we can probably use to just stack loads of Water Energy onto Greninja and pretty much just one-shot everything, or just start shooting off at the bench as well. It doesn't say if you can only use, it says once during a turn. Okay, but you know, maybe we could have Air Balloon and other Greninjas and just start popping off with this ability and just sort of shooting people's bench. I'm really excited for this card. It looks really, really interesting, and yeah, it would be nice to see something that can probably take out Dragapult. Ampharos. Okay, so we've got this ability, Synchro Pulse. If you have the same number of your cards in your hand, your opponent, this Pokemon does 80 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. Then we've got a Flash Bolt that does 140 damage. During your next turn, this Pokemon cannot use Flashing Bolt. You know, I guess we could use Judge to get that Synchro Pulse going. But 140 damage, I just don't think is good enough. So yeah, I think I'm going to let that one slide. Next, we've got Mega Floette EX. So we have Gentle Light, heals 30 damage from each Pokemon, both yours and your opponent. Let me just read that again. Heals 30 damage from each Pokemon, both yours and your opponent. Okay, not really liking the sound of that. Then we've got Eternity Bloom. So it's 3 Psychic Energy, searches your deck for up to 4 Basic Energy, and attach them to your bench Pokemon any way you like. then shuffles your deck. And it's like 250 HP, and it's a mega. Or is it? No, it's not a mega. Yeah, it's a mega. That just sounds really trash. At the moment, yeah, that is straight in the bin. Forget about it. Gorgeist EX. So this is just a stage 1 evolution. We've got Horror Rondo. 30 damage. This attack does 50 more damage for each of your benched Pokemon that has damage counters on it. So maybe this is something that you could use with like Frostlass and Monkey Dory. So yeah, that actually has real potential to do some solid damage. And of course, you know, you can use like Monkey Dory to sort of cleanse and heal and sort of just throw damage out there. Then we've got for 2 Psychic Energy, Ghost Touch, 140 damage. Discards a random card from your opponent's hand. So yeah, I don't know, it seems interesting, but I don't know how good this is actually going to be. A little bit on the fence on this one. Who doesn't love Crobat? So Crobat, 130 HP, has this ability Night Raid. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may use this ability. Search your deck for a card, shuffle your deck, then put that card on top of it. Okay, that's pretty cool. You know, that could work quite nicely with Mega Kangaskhan as well for that cycle. And then we've got Poison Wave, 80 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused and poisoned. That's pretty good. So we're not only doing poison damage, but we're also confusing, and confusion can be really annoying. So that could be really interesting. And we could pair this up with something like Dizzying Valley. So that could be really, really cool. Like, definitely feel like Crobat has potential to definitely come into the meta and shake things up a little bit. Next, we've got Cobalion EX. So it's just a basic, 210 HP, bit on the low side. Has this ability Metal Road. So once during your turn, when this Pokemon moves from your bench to the active spot, you may move a number of Metal Energy from your Pokemon in play to this Pokemon. So I'm guessing if you have like a few of these, you sort of just play around with the energy and just move them back and forth. Because we've got this Power Tackle. It does 200 damage. This Pokemon cannot attack during next turn. So I guess it's sort of cycle, damage, cycle, move, damage, cycle, move, move, move. But honestly, I don't think that's enough damage. Especially if you can't attack next turn and we're sort of doing all this moving nonsense as well. Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan on that one. Mega Dragalge EX. Looks pretty interesting. We've got 330 HP. We're a Dragon-type Pokemon. We have Corrosive Fluid. Discards all Pokemon tools and special energies attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon. Okay, that's pretty nasty. And then we've got Deadly Poison. So we need a Water Energy and a Dark Energy. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned during your Pokemon's check-on. Places 16 damage counters instead of 1. So that's pretty much going to knock out everything in 2 turns. But yeah, I don't know. Obviously, it's better when you can just sort of straight up just one-shot thing, something with like raw damage. But does look interesting. I feel like this card has some real potential. Cinccino EX. So this is a stage 1 evolution. We've got the ability Smooth Coat. If any damage is done to this Pokemon by an attack, flips a coin. If heads, prevents that damage. Okay, that's pretty tasty. And then we've got Energy Slap. 1 energy, 40 damage. This attack does 40 damage for each energy attached to this Pokemon. Oh, I just don't know, man. I just feel like that's going to be really hard to set up and just stack energy. And once Cinccino's gone down, it kind of just lost everything. So, yeah, I'm going to say that is just pure trash. In the bin. Card is one of the ones that I'm so excited for. Special red card. It's probably going to be one of the best support cards that comes out for a while. So, you may use this card only if your opponent has 3 or fewer prize cards. Your opponent shuffles their hand, puts it to the bottom of their deck, and then draws 3 cards. So it's basically sort of the new Iono. Obviously not as good as Iono, but you know, it's at least something. So yeah, I feel like special red card is you're gonna have like 1 or 2 copy in every single deck you make. It's gonna be a must-have. But yeah, just being able to sort of strip your opponent back and just make them have 3 cards, super strong. Definitely one worth picking up. God tier. This is God tier card. So we've got our first supporter card. We've got AZ's Tranquility. Switches your active Pokemon to the bench. And then if you move an OEX in this way, you heal 80 damage for that Pokemon. I think that could be useful. I don't think it's going to be like crazy strong, but definitely useful. So yeah, I think that's one we need to sort of play with and try and find out if it's worth picking up or not. We've got Philippe, another supporter card. Attaches 2 basic Metal Energy from your discard pile to one of your Metal Pokemon. Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a really good card. Being able to pick up 2 Metal Energies as well. Pretty sick. So yeah, Philip, feel like he's going to be pretty good. Then we've got Roxy's Performance, another supporter card. During your opponent's next turn, if they're poison, during your opponent's next turn, their poison Pokemon cannot retreat. This includes newly poisoned Pokemon. So yeah, I feel like that's going to pair up really nicely with Dragalge. I feel that's going to pair up really nicely. So yeah, definitely think that's a card to watch out for. Okay, and we're on to the energy, guys. So yeah, the energy looks really interesting. Nitro Fire Energy. I think this is going to be the best out of the new energies that are coming, the special energies. So as long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides 1 fire energy. If this card is discarded by the effect of an attack used by the fire Pokemon, this card is attached to, put this card into your hand after applying that effect. That is insane. I really feel like they're trying to bring Mega Charizard into the meta with Ori Carrillo. So yeah, I think this is going to be incredibly strong. We're going to have to sort of see how it goes, but yeah, I definitely feel like they are trying to make fire Pokemon come back into the meta, and this is a huge buff. Then we've got Bubble Water Energy. As long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides 1 water energy. The water Pokemon this card is attached to recovers from all special conditions and cannot be affected by special conditions. It sort of depends what happens with the meta, if this is going to be useful or not. Obviously, if like Poison and Confusion becomes really big, then this has some real potential. But otherwise, you know, I don't think it's really going to add too much to the game. And we are down to our last card, Magnetic Steel Energy. As long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides metal energy. The metal Pokemon this card is attached to has no retreat costs. So yeah, I think that's really useful, really good. You know, there's a ton of good metal decks out there, so that's gonna be a huge buff. Means that, you know, we won't need like air balloons in the deck and stuff. Definitely provides a lot of utility as well. So yeah, I'm loving that. I think Magnetic Steel Energy is absolutely baller and worth picking up. Let me know who you think is going to be OP and what's going to be trash, and what decks you guys are excited for. Just let me know. I love to hear your thoughts and opinions. And if you guys want to see new decks or just be part of the community, please like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. It really helps the channel grow. Until next time, guys, take care, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.